Amanda, what's the largest living thing on Earth?
Oh, that's a good question. I bet it's elephants.
Nope.
Oh, no. Okay, whales.
Nope.
Oh, man, I'm stumped.
It's trees.
I'm Amanda Gray.
I'm Sierra Shanolson.
Welcome to the Harvest Lab.
Trees are some of the largest things on Earth, and they give us oxygen. How important is that?
Very important, Sierra. That's right.
A little excited.
Trees are an essential part of our ecosystem, not only for oxygen, but for the food we eat, for homes for our animals,
Like
and
squirrels.
Exactly like squirrels.
That's why it's so important that we need to know how to take care of them properly, right?
So important. Before we talk about proper care of trees, we first need to understand the different parts of a tree. Take it away, Sierra.
Well, let's start from the ground up. Well, I mean under the ground. Every tree has its roots. Those roots are so important. They carry the nutrients and the water for the tree all the way up to the canopy. They are so important that palm trees grow their roots in a ball and oak trees grow their roots out.
Now let's talk about the trunk. Not only is it a very important part of the structure, it tells us how old that tree is. If you cut a tree in half, you can actually see rings. Each ring designates how many years that tree has been alive.
Now let's talk about the top of the tree, or the canopy. Next is the top of the tree, and the top of the tree is called a crown. And just like any crown, it has its gems and jewels. On the top of the tree, you'll find things like twigs, branches, leaves, fruit, or even flowers during some seasons.
Oh no! What's the status?
Doctor?
Here's the soil temperature. We got some dry leaves, maybe some holes.
Doctor, can you see the patient?
It's very simple. It's just growing pains.
Oh my gosh. Thank goodness.
It's just a baby tree, that's why.
Whew.
Thank you, Matthew, for being our doctor for our baby tree today.
You're welcome.
So, a few questions for you about plant science and trees. But first, let's talk about what you do as a plant scientist with Harvest to help homeowners keep their trees and plants healthy.
So one of the main things that I do here at Harvest is I go to each property that we maintain and I do an assessment of all of their plants. And after my assessment, I send that to the property manager and the board, and then they determine what they want to do after that.
Okay, and that's gonna help keep their plants healthy and even their soil healthy as well,
Even
right?
their soil healthy, exactly.
What are a few signs to tell that a tree is getting sick?
So one of the ways that you can tell is take a soil sample. And Harvest has partnered with a lab that we do all of the necessary 17 nutrient analysis. And then also we do pH, the EC, and the salt content that is in the soil.
Wow, that's a lot just for soil. That's amazing.
It's a lot for soil, yes it is.
Okay, so what common diseases are found in Southern California when it comes to trees?
So one of the main common ones is called Phytophthora root rot. And that is mainly caused by overwatering. One of the main things that a lot of landscapers do is if it's either grass or trees that is 300 years old, they if they see the tree in distress, they automatically put water into it. And that is one of the possibly worst things you can ever do to any plant, is just add more water without doing a full analysis of the plant.
Interesting. Okay, because that's what causes the disease.
That's what causes disease, is overwatering.
Okay, yeah, we can't overwater you guys.
No.
Okay, so what few insects could cause diseases, or what do they do to the tree? Because I know they affect trees somehow.
Yeah, so there are a lot down here in Southern California that cause trees to die.
Okay.
One of the main ones that is really problematic is called the shot hole borer. And that one, you can tell by the trunk of the tree, mainly a big sycamore, maybe about roughly 4 feet and below, you will see a pinhole-sized hole in the tree. When the beetle bores its way in there, it is secreting bacterium that goes inside of the plant tissue, and it sucks up that bacterium all the way up to the top of the leaves.
Oh my gosh, killing the tree from the bottom up.
Killing the tree from the bottom up.
Oh, that's so sad. And I'm sure there are ways that we have here that we could help save the tree, right?
Yes, there are, yes. Harvest, I can't disclose the information on the Phytophthora root rot.
Okay.
It's a secret, but for the borean beetle, Harvest does have a 2-year suppression rate for that beetle.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Cool, 2 years.
Go Harvest.
Go Harvest.
Okay, thank you so much for being our plant scientist today, saving our tree, and giving us all that information.
You're welcome.
Wow, that was a close call with Matthew. He's a great plant scientist.
I know, he really is. And I'm so happy he saved our baby tree, even though it was already healthy.
Close call, but not really. What do you say we get out to a field and talk to a certified arborist, Dave Ramos?
Yes, let's get down to the root of things and see how Harvest maintains our trees. With over 18 years in the industry, Ramos is one of Harvest Landscape's earliest employees, starting in 2002 as a landscape technician. He quickly became an account manager and eventually promoted to Arbor Care Division Manager. Ramos obtained his arborist certification in 2008 as a licensed QAL. In 2018, Ramos survived a rare form of cancer after a 2-year battle. Today, he plays an instrumental role in ensuring the Harvest Way is observed across all client accounts.
Dave, today we want to talk about something that's on everyone's minds. When is the best time to trim your trees?
Well, really, we trim trees all year round in California. The climate is very moderate, so we're cognizant of the bird nesting season and the species of trees, particularly pine trees. Those want to be trimmed in the cooler season, in the wintertime. Some of the other trees, not as much of an issue.
What are some of the common questions that you get from managers when it comes to tree trimming?
Well, a lot of times they want the trees cut back severely because of maybe building clearance or a branch is hanging over somebody's backyard. And we try to explain to them, maybe this is the wrong species for this particular space. You're living in an urban forest, so part of that upkeep of that forest is removing trees that have aged out, they've matured, they've grown out of the space, and plant something more appropriate for the, or maybe no tree at all.
You have been in the industry for 20 years and have been an arborist for 15. How could homeowners associations or board members partner with you to help their urban forests?
What I recommend is a 3-year plan. They can see their inventory completely, which species need to be trimmed in each particular year, and the rotation of it, and that way they can budget.
So I know this is kind of a simple question, but why do we trim trees?
Well, all trees are technically self-pruning trees. In the forest, it doesn't matter because if a branch falls, nobody's gonna hear it. But here, we're living right next to these trees, and so there's property damage that can happen, also the safety of the trees, the health of the trees. We prune to open up the canopy of the trees for better airflow, so you don't have influx of insects and other pathogens that are floating in the air. Basically, keep everything looking aesthetically good as well.
Definitely. These guys make it look easy, but Dave, is this job pretty technical?
It is very technical. So they go inside and they open it up. They open up the canopy, they lace it out. So the tree is, when the winds come, the tree is able to move and there's not undue stress on particular areas of the tree, particular branches that may be heavy, have a lot of end weight, and then they can break and snap and fall and damage some property or, God forbid, people. These guys are very well trained in the rigging, safety, roping, tying off. They're very much like artists.
I love that. They are artists.
They are artists.
And I imagine they're running into a lot of wildlife on their jobs as well.
Not now because it's not nesting season. It's over at the end of August, but anytime there is an active nest, the guys are trained to leave the tree and don't do any trimming.
That was great, Dave. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Oh, Sierra, we gotta leave.
Let's go.
See you, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Just like we honor and take care of our trees, we'd like to honor those who have fought for our country. Our veterans are the root of our nation. Like trees, veterans hold our great nation and values up. No matter what obstacles that pass, like roots, our veterans have helped our nation stand ground. Thank you for your willingness to serve our great country, for choosing to leave your home behind and making the sacrifice to protect and defend the American people. You are the ultimate representation of the American spirit. We honor all veterans, young and old.
We hope you had a great time learning trees with us today.
Where science
Plus fun.
equals the Harvest Lab. take care of them properly. Trees are some of the they're living. The Harvest Lab. We're like.